service, and I would like to thank for that to the European Union, the Presidents Kostu and Ursula von der Leyen, and all of the leaders who are taking part in this process. And also the technical team, that is how we sometimes say, but the technical team are the huge number of people who are helping Ukraine that much. So for us, it is very important. For us, Ukraine is fighting for its independence, and our future is in the EU, which is the part of our independence, the part of independence from the vector and factor of Russia. And for us, it is an important factor that we are highly assessed during this year. It is not that easy for us during the war to conduct these or those legislative amendments. Obviously, because of different reasons. I don't want to complain. We are a very strong country opposing Russia and their wish to destroy us. That is why I am sure that we will introduce all of the legislative amendments and other necessary steps. We have faced the task, the assignment, to implement all of that, to prepare all of the clusters till the end of the current year. We will be ready, or at least we will try to do our best, whatever we can, to achieve that. And about that, in my opinion, we have the united country, united population, society, the power, authorities, and that's an important factor. I wouldn't like this process to be too long, too lengthy. I mean, the processes which do not depend on us. Those are clusters opening. Why? Well, because the EU factor, the fact that Ukraine is fighting for itself in Europe is very important. For the morale, for the moral support, both of our people and all of our military. That is very important, that this is the bilateral movement. And we would really like that to be well assessed by all of the possible institutions and all of the leaders who are sometimes in doubts. So for us, the quicker Ukraine is able to open the clusters and to have the fully fledged negotiations platforms, the better it is for us. It will be a supporting factor for Ukraine.
So as you know, and in the last weeks it was always reported, here in Brussels there are some concerns about judicial independence in Ukraine, especially after the creation of two independent anti-corruption bodies. The enlargement report says, recent negative trends, including a growing pressure on the specialized anti-corruption agencies and civil society, must be decisively reversed. What will you do to address these concerns?
Well, in my opinion, I do not see that in the report. I know that there are certain messages, but I would check the real quotes from the report. But secondly, during the war, we have implemented the widest, the broadest anti-corruption infrastructure in Europe. And I don't know about any country who has that many anti-corruption authorities. Maybe it can be in other countries, but we are doing everything possible. There is a plan, and it's not the plan which we are inventing. This is the plan which we create in the dialogue with the European Union to start the negotiations platform, to open the clusters. Ukraine has to stick to the very specific list of laws and reforms. And that is why, during the war, we need to be more specific in our steps. We are focused on that in a sufficient way. There is a request from Ukraine. Our legislation should coincide or be approximate to the European one. There are certain laws and reforms, and we are implementing them.
An interesting idea discussed here in Brussels, as you know, allow new members in earlier, but without full membership rights at first. Would you be willing to speed up a session, to give up a veto at the beginning?
No, how can I understand that? It seems to me it's very important that we would like that Ukraine could get such a treatment as to the equals. And if we speak about the EU membership, it has to be fully fledged. It seems to me that that is very important when we have at the same table equal countries in spite of their size of the territory or the population. It's important that they share similar values. In my opinion, you cannot be semi or demi-member of the EU.
Talking about veto, there is all eyes on Hungary. So Ukraine had hoped to open 5 clusters. None of them has happened because Hungary blocked it by veto. What would you be prepared to offer Viktor Orban to move this forward?
I'm not sure that Ukraine has to bargain with its own values. Russia failed to do that. So I don't know. I don't think that Ukraine or that the Hungarian leader can do that. You cannot stop the people in their rights. Well, yes, you can postpone something, but it will not be for the use of both our countries. When I'm speaking about our countries, about Ukraine and Hungary, I'm totally sure that Hungarians are very friendly people. They are supporting Ukrainians, as well as the Ukrainians are respecting any nation of Europe. Now, this is the equality, this is the respect and the values of our relations. That is very important for the future. We don't have the right as the leaders to think about ourselves and about our elections, because this is just 1 minute in the history of our nations. That's just nothing in comparison with what can be destroyed relations between the people. This is the most important, not to lose this good neighborhood. That's what's important. I don't think that I have to offer something to Viktor Orban. I think that Viktor Orban has to offer something for Ukraine, which is protecting the whole Europe from Russia. And even now, during this war, we did not get any support from him, support of our vision of life. We wouldn't like still that Viktor would support Russia, because blocking of Ukraine in the EU is the very specific support by Viktor of Putin, and that is definitely not that good. In my opinion, that is my subjective opinion.
There is a totally personal impression from my side. Sometimes it looks a bit personal between you and Viktor Orban. Are you ready to repair this relationship, or are you simply hoping for a government change in Budapest next year?
First of all, I don't think that anyone has the right to influence the choice of the Hungarian people and the elections in Hungary, in Budapest. That is their personal right, and I don't want to have anything in common with that. I think that this war, the war for the freedom of the country, which is 40 times smaller than the aggressor is, this war will not forget anyone and anything. There will be peace, peaceful times, and we would need to look straight forward into the eyes of each other. We need to have the opportunity to respect each other, and that's it. It's nothing about being personal. It's not about personalities. We are at war for our survival, for our lives.